gives you the flip side, the real side. This is our side.
Listen live now.
The number one station, period.
And on that note, let's get back to the program.
You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Detroit's only urban talk radio station.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show, conservative political radio, giving you what you need to know. Listen up, it's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show, conservative political radio, giving you what you need to know. Listen up, it's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. Listen up, it's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Yeah.
And welcome to the Wayne Bradley Show. Oh man, we got a lot going on to talk about today. I am just, I'm in one of those moods today. Did you get all my clips? Because I'm in one of those moods today, Juwan. I just cannot believe.
I got them clips. I'm ready.
You got those clips. I'm with a full clip today.
Shots fired.
I am so ready today. After watching the State of the Union last night, thoroughly impressed. Unifying message by the president. Very unifying message. Let's just start off with that. Let's start off with the fact that the message was a unified message. It was powerful. Even Democrats last night I could see they were stumped. Chris Matthews from Hardball, he even said, I hate that I can't come on and berate the president tonight because you know what? The speech was good, folks. You can say he stuck to the teleprompter. You can say whatever you want to say. For last night, that speech, that was presidential. Powerful. But you know what? It just wouldn't be right if some things that just, caught my attention. Just caught my attention. Now, you're leaving? Are you leaving right now? You can't leave right now. It's time. It's time. We're going to handle this business. There's people calling in already. I'm sure you got some things on your mind, but let me just get this off my chest for a moment. Donald Trump was going through all the list of accomplishments last night. Yeah, that's right, Juwan. We're going to go through this. We got to get this off our chest. Donald Trump was going through the list of accomplishments last night that he's made as a president in the first year. And the thing that really stuck out to me, was when Donald Trump, you know what? I'm just going to, Juwan, play the clip first. Play the clip. Just play the clip, and I'll explain what's happening after you play the first clip.
Oh, you got so much heat and animosity on you today.
I'm frustrated. I am frustrated. Let me take a sip of water.
So you're frustrated about what? About Donald Trump saying the bull crap that he always says?
Get out of the way here, because you're going to get rolled over like a bulldozer here. Play the clip.
I'm very proud of African-American unemployment stands at
the
lowest rate ever recorded.
Take that off. You stop that. Don't disrespect my president like that, Juwan. Now, you're really interfering with the quality and the clarity. The
quality of him saying low black unemployment. You want us to clap for that?
This time,
you want us to clap for that?
I don't want you to interfere with what I'm about to say here. Play that clip again, doggone it. I want you to hear it one more time, folks. Play it one more time and don't you interfere. Have to sometimes go Donald Trump out here. Play the clip.
I'm very proud of African-American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded.
I cannot believe how you're disrespecting my clip right now, John. Turn that off. All right, now see, this is what I'm talking about. All right, so what I want you to understand is I wish we could play the clip visually so you could see the Black Congressional Caucus refusing to stand in their kente cloths They got their kente cloth on, but they won't even stand up and clap for 1 second for the lowest unemployment numbers ever for African Americans. Listen, now every president, I don't care who the president is going to take credit. When the numbers are good, they're going to take credit for it. I don't care who the president is. When the numbers are good, the president's going to take care of it. And so Donald Trump last night during the State of the Union said that African-American unemployment was at its lowest ever. The Black Congressional Caucus couldn't even clap for that. I mean, listen, I know they don't like Trump. I know what they think. I know all the, I get it for the guy from Illinois that walked out. You guys don't want the wall to get built. That makes, I give you that, okay. But why couldn't the Black Congressional Caucus at least clap for the lowest unemployment numbers for African Americans in history? What did they have to lose by that? Please tell me. I'm going to tell you how Donald Trump should be feeling right now. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I want you to play that other clip, Juwan, right now about how Donald Trump should feel right now after seeing the Black Congressional Caucus refusing to stand up for the lowest unemployment numbers ever. Go ahead, run the clip.
What more do you want from me?
That's how you should feel right now. What else do you want from me right now? I'm bringing home the bacon. I'm delivering, keeping my promises. America is these liberals are so crazy right now. I mean, literally, they want America to fail just so they can blame it on Donald Trump. I don't get it.
What more do you want from me?
That's what more do you want from the man right now? Come on. I don't get it. I don't get how the Black Congressional Caucus can sit there. Now, during the time that President Obama was president, when black unemployment was still sky high, the Black Congressional Caucus said if he wasn't a black president, we would be protesting in front of the White House every day. But because he was the black president, they refused to do it. But now you have Donald Trump in office, lowest black unemployment numbers in history, and you can't even clap for that. I tell you, Congressional Black Caucus, you just find new ways to disappoint me every time you get a chance to. And that's all because you're listening to Nancy Pelosi, the same Nancy Pelosi that demanded for the icon, the civil rights icon, John Conyers, to be fired. You're letting her tell you what to do. The same woman that told you that you had to get rid of John Conyers here in Detroit, that we have no representation right now, none at all, no representation because of Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. The same person that pretty much kicked out John Conyers must have put out the mandate yesterday to the Congressional Black Caucus to tell them you better not. You better not stand for those low black unemployment numbers. Let Trump hang on it. We don't care. Don't you dare stand. And all with their kente cloth and everything else refuse to clap for the low black unemployment numbers. I just don't get it, folks. I'm starting to really feel like the only thing that the Congressional Black Caucus is good for is CBC week, partying, having a good time. They surely are not concerned about black unemployment numbers because they won't even clap for it, and this is the lowest ever. They don't want to go negotiate with Donald Trump on infrastructure or anything because they're too busy fighting against illegal immigrants. That's what the Congressional Black Caucus is. That's what they're good for right now. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, the phone lines are blowing up. I'm sure some folks want to call in, defend this liberalism. Give us a call, 313-778-7600. I'd love to hear how you think about that. But it's unreal today. I just could not believe it. What else do you want from the man? I mean, the same exact woman. I want all you Detroit Democrats that are listening on the line, I want you to listen good. This is Nancy Pelosi, the same woman that demanded John Conyers, the icon, the civil rights legend, be forced to step down because of some accusations. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm real fired up today. Because you know what? These are the guys that you claim are leading the black community and leading us into abyss is what you want to say if that's what they're doing. It makes no sense at this point trying to make an enemy out of the president when we should be trying to get stuff done on the behalf of our constituents in our community. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You right, Charmaine. I'm lit tonight. I couldn't believe I watched those folks sit there and not clap, even for low unemployment, low black unemployment numbers. But it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. They're the same people that were willing to shut down the government for illegal immigrants. Won't fight that hard for black folks. You ain't never seen the government shut down for any of our causes, any of our needs. CBC won't do that. Oh, no. Whatever Nancy Pelosi says goes. That's how it goes. Don't you guys clap for that. Don't you dare clap for that. I don't care if the numbers are the lowest ever. And listen, folks, these guys are going to come back home. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. They're going to come back home, and they're going to come in and say, hey, we didn't stand up and clap for those low black unemployment numbers. You know why? Because Obama did it. And then all the black folks were going to get excited to hear that or whatever. But the truth is, folks, they should be coming together with the president right now. Break away from the leadership of your party who doesn't care about the black community. They only look at us as a vote. And do what's right on behalf of your community. Go work with Donald Trump instead of sitting there not clapping, not getting anything done. It does nothing to sit there and we got enough protesters in the black community. We don't need it in our elected leadership. We got enough protesters. It's just unreal. Go and get something done. Sitting there being mad because of low black unemployment. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Give us a call, 313-778-7600. I'm going to cool off a little bit here. I'm going to cool off here a little bit because, I just couldn't believe. And, some folks on my Facebook page and all this stuff getting mad at me because I'm calling it out. How does the CBC sit there and not clap for low black unemployment while they're rocking kente cloths? Because, President Trump said something we didn't like about other places, but you won't clap for the good news. Won't clap for the good news. Things that should be celebrated.
You call that good news?
The lowest black unemployment numbers ever? I think that is very good news. Don't understand it. You're listening to Wayne Bradley on 910 a.m. your Superstation. I'm sorry. I just felt a rant coming on about that. I knew that it was deep down inside because, again, these are the guys that we consider the leaders in our community, but they're protesting. That's what they're doing. They're not legislating. They're protesting. We have enough protesters in our community. The elected leadership of the CBC should be working with the president to get things done. He wants to do infrastructure. Work with him. Don't protest. Let the guys here in Detroit do that. We've got plenty of those guys. They will protest anything. No justice, no pizza. I ain't forgot about that. No justice, no pizza. They will protest anything. We don't need our elected leadership doing that. Hey, even if you don't like Donald Trump, show some class. Clap for the things that are good for this country. They couldn't even clap for God bless, for one nation under God. What does it take? What does it take? What will the Democrats clap for Donald Trump? Huh?
Him getting impeached.
Yeah, well, dream on. Dream on. Dream on. All you libs. It's ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Tonight, I hope that all my black Democrat listeners, at the very least, give a call. Shoot an email over to your elected officials. Debbie Stabenow stood up. She knows she better stand up. She's going to lose that election. We're going to talk about that. Again, I'm just more disappointed. Not 100% surprised because, again, they don't want Donald Trump to be successful. These folks would rather the country fail than Donald Trump be successful. Sad. Very sad. Hey, let's go to Pat, who's on the line. Pat, thanks for calling in.
How you doing, Wayne?
All right, how you doing, Pat?
All right. I'm not a liberal. I'm very much a conservative, and I'm not a never Trump conservative.
Okay.
I don't like let's say Bill Kristol or Max Boot, who supported your man Mitt back in, 2012 and advised him and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would take deep issue with calling anything that he proposed yesterday remotely conservative. I mean, firstly, what budget slashes?
He's never positioned himself to be conservative.
Have we seen any serious budget cuts proposed? Are we still spending nearly $1 trillion a year on?
Well, he's trying to raise the. He's going to raise the GDP.
The military.
Yeah, he's going to. Listen, you'll never get me to co-sign on the bloated spending we do in the U.S. military, but that's Donald Trump's thing.
But when you cut taxes and then you raise spending,
he didn't raise it. It hasn't. We just haven't done. We haven't done enough yet to address the spending, and that's a problem with government in general. Okay, so I get what you're saying.
Trump sounded like a 1950s French socialist last night. I mean, were we listening here?
I didn't hear that. I heard him talk about less regulations. I heard him talk about, again, low unemployment for black folks, is what I'm talking about right now. And maybe could you explain to me, Pat, why the Black Congressional Caucus wouldn't stand? I'm curious to why anyone wouldn't be happy with the lowest numbers.
That was one thing that I saw. Yes. I'm not saying that I'm not disagreeing with every single thing that he said, although I don't believe him in most instances. There's sometimes, I might agree with the worst of the worst, but that happens. What I'm saying though is I think it's a large mistake for Donald Trump to be embracing an economy, which I see as, how could anyone not see this as a bubble? You go from 8,000 low before the recession, right before it was declared a recession, all the way up to 26,000 in the stock market. Mm-hmm. How is that not a bubble? How is it not that when people realize that Wall Street is so overvalued and over-leveraged, it's going to happen again? This is a pyramid game. It's got nothing to. It's not Donald Trump or Barack Obama's economy. It's very much. This is economy.
I understand what you're saying from the Federal Reserve's economy, but I do believe
they all love the Federal Reserve. That's another problem.
Well, yeah, you won't get me to disagree with you on that. I think the bigger issue, though, is why you see the economy rising so fast, where you had over 70 days last year where it was a new high in the market, is because Donald Trump is getting rid of regulations that have forced a lot of companies in America to go elsewhere or not come here in the first place. Okay, I think the tax cut was instrumental in giving more confidence, passing on some of that money. We understand that the big companies and the corporations are the ones that benefited. I get it. But the fact is a lot of money was passed through in bonuses and raises. Right. And that, to me, stimulates the economy.
Tax, though, so that's irrelevant to me. The problem, I think, is a bigger problem is the low interest rates at nearly 0.25%, which we have held. They're at zero. They have proposed negative interest rates, which is absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. That's the main issue because it teaches people, largely middle class and poor people, who then go into even further debt when the bubble bursts, to borrow in ways that they should not if the market regulated interest like it should. So that's a much bigger thing that we have to worry about than regulation. I want to get rid of the regulations, most certainly. Right. But I think the interest rates, and this is all a charade. I think Trump's making a huge mistake.
At some point,
it's gonna blow. And then what is he going to say? It's Obama's fault?
No, at some point the I word could be brought up. Inflation. I get it. I get everything you're saying here. But I think at the same time, if GDP is rising and more jobs are being created, that's more revenue for our country. And people are bringing in a lot of money that was on the sidelines sitting in other countries. And I think that is what we ought to be looking at. Who's bringing money back? Who's investing in America? And it just was not happening at the clip we have now with Donald Trump being president. That's what we have to. I understand what you're saying as an economist. You sound to be a lot more astute economist.
He's got nothing then. When it goes, he's got nothing. It's going to go. This is just a game. I don't think he realizes it.
Well, I think Pat, I do think he understands money better than most of these other presidents have. So let's see what happens.
He contradicted himself. He contradicted himself from what he used to say in the campaign when he did criticize the Federal Reserve. Now he says he likes the dollar week, because then we could transport our money as our number one export all around the world. Mm-hmm. And when people stop accepting those dollars as the reserve currency of the world, we are going to feel it good. Trust me, this thing's all a charade.
If it does happen, Pat, I do believe you. We will feel the pain, but let's have some optimism here for this country And let's see what happens as my president moves forward. But thanks for calling in, my friend. I do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are we going to break right now, Juwan? Or we got some time here? All right. So listen, when we come back from the break, I'm going to come to Vernon, Walter, Michael, and JJ. Appreciate my people watching out, looking out on Facebook. You're listening to the Wayne Bradley Show on 9:10 a.m., your Superstation. We'll be right back.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative political radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show.
If the conversation is hot and the lines are jammed, give us a try at 313-778-7600 or 313-778-7601. That's 313-778-7600 or 313-778-7601.
910 Superstation is off the chisane.
910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit, and we want to hear what you have to say by any means necessary. 910 AM Superstation is in a league of its own. We are the only talk radio station in the Metro Detroit area sensitive to the African American community.
Make sure you join us on what station?
910 AM, the Superstation.
910 AM.
910 AM. On 910 AM Superstation.
910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only African American based talk radio station. 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit and the talk of the town. Weekdays, weeknights, weekends, and everything in between. If you want national topics, we have it.
Is this DACA challenge that the president has presented? He rolled back the...
Well, he hasn't done it yet. Anybody who says that they know what he's going to do before it happens is making a mistake.
Local discussions, we have that too.
You know, the Pistons, the Red Wings, those arenas, they were made for people primarily in the suburbs, I think, coming in.
Entertainment and relationships? Listen up. And if you thought we were restricted to only the radio, think again. You can hear all of this on 910 AM as well as on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube Live, YouTube Red, and Facebook Live. That's right. Download the 910 AM Superstation app in the Apple, Android, or Windows App Store today and stay connected to the best station in town.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative political radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative political radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show.
And we're back on the Wayne Bradley Show live on 910 AM Superstation. The future of radio is the new hook. All right, future radio. All right, so listen, I got to play this one more time because Pat, with his eloquent and thoughtful and thought-provoking talk about the economy, kind of threw me off a little bit because I wanted to talk about this Congressional Black Caucus. Play that clip again.
I'm very proud of. African American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded.
What more do you want from me?
Saying that I just don't get it. That's where we're at. What more do you want from the man before he can at least get a clap? Come on.
What more do you want from me?
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Folks again, the Congressional Black Caucus, they just need to be called the Party Caucus because that's what they're good for. That Congressional Black Caucus week is slamming. There's a lot going on that week. But besides that, they're not looking out for the folks. They should be sitting down, having a conversation with Donald Trump. It's a Wednesday in the building. All of these blessed folks from the church coming in to sing this evening. But they should not be sitting around not trying to work with the president. Don't go along with Nancy Pelosi. If nothing else you guys have learned, if nothing else, some of you black Democrats, the Congressional Black Caucus guys, after what they did to John Conyers, is you should court your own path. Represent your own constituents. Because the way Nancy Pelosi discarded of the Honorable John Conyers, I don't see how any of those guys had the nerve not to clap last night. If nothing else, to stand up to Nancy Pelosi and her rulership over the Congressional Black Caucus and the Dems. It's sad. I just don't get it. Hey, Age, how you doing? Yep, I'm in the building tonight having a good time. Man, I just can't understand it. We got the phone lines are blowing up. I'm sure there's some Democrats and these Detroit folks that want to defend this foolishness of not standing up, at least clapping for low black unemployment. What else do you want? What else do you want from Donald Trump right now? I don't get it. All right, man, let's go to Vernon. Vernon's been waiting a while. Vernon, welcome to the show.
Not standing up, at least clapping for low black unemployment.
Vernon, cut the radio down and talk to me, my brother.
All right, now let's go to...
He's going to wait. He's got to wait to... Vernon, you got to cut that radio off. All right, we're gonna have to take Vernon. Vernon's got to go, man. I appreciate you listening in, Vernon, because I can hear you on the radio right there. All right, I'm gonna take it to the guy that I know feels what I'm talking about 100% here. We're going to my man Walter. Walter, welcome to the show. Stop booing my man Walter. Walter's about to bring the funk. Because I know if anybody else, I was probably going light compared to how Walter feels about this situation. The Congressional Black Caucus. Stop booing that man. All right, Juwan. Go ahead, Walter. What did you think about that last? I know, Walter, what did you think about that last night?
The world's greatest speech, the world's best president, America's best president in the history of the United States. And by the way, the voice of opposition has arisen again.
There it is.
All right, let's get started.
Let's get started,
man. Look like the Black Caucus farted. Okay, let's get started. Okay. They are... did you hear what Rush Limbaugh refers to them as? The Congressional Black Caucasians.
Why did he say that?
That's what he refers to them as, Black Caucasians. But anyway, the most despicable group you ever heard of. They no longer, not only do they hate employment for blacks, they hate babies. They never speak up for aborted babies, black babies.
Never.
And by the way, they love Al Shriveled Up Sharpton. And have you noticed something about Al Shriveled Up Sharpton, Wayne? Every time that clown lie, he lose an extra pound. to keep lying, he's going to disappear by this time next year. And good riddance will be to Al Shriveled Up Sharpton and Jesse Where's the Camera Jackson. Ron.
I call him lights. I call him lights, camera, action. Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, that's just as good. You don't hear from Frog Guy Jackson hardly.
He's relaxing, man.
Jerkson.
He's relaxing now. Yeah. But I mean, seriously, Walter, these guys couldn't even clap for the lowest unemployment numbers for Black America ever. How does that happen? As the Congressional Black Caucus, how does that happen?
I was horrified, but not surprised that they didn't once stand up and clap. The camera exposed every last one of them, just including Cory Booker, who's a hooker on the corner. Cory Booker. Okay? But those eyes about to buzz and pop up out his head. He's one despicable black guy. And by the way, he's a big liar, too.
Well, he definitely goes wherever the political winds are convenient is where you'll find Cory Booker. No question about it.
Yeah. He's so emotional about what Donald Trump supposed to have said about people from other countries. Oh, he gave that emotional plea. Man, he was a flat-out theatrical piece of you know what. I'm going to tell you something, man. Like you said, if people haven't seen through these clowns by now. And if the Republicans, and let me see, I'm going to scream if I hear anybody else, including Donald Trump, talking about let's unify the country. He gave them opportunity. Remember they said that was going to be the theme of his message last night? Let's unify the country. There's no unity with any fakercrat, snakeocrat. There's no unity with these people. I've been saying that all along. Do not work with them. Let them bring. In fact, we should bring the pressure. They need to cross over to our agenda. If they don't cross over and accept our agenda, Republican platform, they're worthless and useless, repulsive.
Thank you.
Repudiate.
I'm glad. I knew, Walter, you would see it my way. Thank you, sir.
Do not cross over and work with them. You can't work with them. They are beyond redemption. And by the way, I see the Christ, the Jesus scenarios with the Pharisees, with these clowns. Yeah, they modern day Pharisees. He would have to pronounce the judgment on them a long time ago, and just like he did with the Pharisees in I believe Matthew chapter 12 or John chapter 12, when he declared the total doom and gloom in the pits of hell. He actually told them they're going straight to hell because they have blasphemed the Holy Spirit. There was nothing Jesus could do to convince them that he was Lord and Savior, even through his miracles. God has performed a miracle in raising up this good, righteous man, Donald Trump, who's not a liar. Like, that's right. Oh, I know they're going to call him now.
I got to give a chuckle out of that one, man. A little bit. But God uses his vessels, man. That's all it comes down to. There's no perfect man out here.
God raised him up, and these Pharisees, the democrats, the devil's rats, devilcrats. That's right, I call them devil's rats. They have to find a new term sooner or later.
I still will not get over the fact that the Congressional Black Caucus let Nancy Pelosi stymie them, bully them. She said basically, you can wear your kente cloth. I don't mind if you're throwing your kente cloth, but don't you dare stand for that unemployment number. I know it sounds good, guys, but we got to stand strong together. And it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Where's the leadership? Where's the leadership in the CBC?
There's no leadership. They love their abortions. They're mad that Donald Trump didn't get up there and promote abortion. That's on their platform. They're mad that Donald Trump and the Republicans did not boo God like they used that, like they always.
They didn't even want to stand up for that. Okay, you don't want to stand. I'm already thrown off that you don't want to stand for the lowest black unemployment numbers ever. But you don't want to even stand when he says one nation under God? Nothing? Just, whoo. I don't know. These guys.
Because they're godless. That's right. The Black Caucus, Corrupt Caucus, they want their WIC programs. They want their Head Start programs. If the Republicans are not promoting that kind of stuff, their high unemployment programs.
They just don't want Trump to be great, Walter. That's what it comes down to.
No.
Hey, man, listen, I got a ton of calls here. I got to get through them, man. But thank you so much for calling in tonight, my friend. Got to get to these calls, man. You're the best, Walter. My man, Walter. All right. Let's go to Michael, who's been on the line for a moment there. Michael, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Okay, can you explain to me in detail, from your own eyes, explain to me in detail, please, about the proof of the African unemployment rate?
The labor board statistics. Right from the government itself.
This is
and this is what Trump announced. And how do you feel about that?
Sorry.
I'm asking because I'm the one asking questions here. I asked, how did you guys feel as a voter? How did you feel? Did you elect either the 13th? Well, we don't have a 13th district congressman because Nancy Pelosi pushed him out the way. Our legendary John Conyers, but Brenda Lawrence. Did you elect a black Democrat in your seat, sir?
Yeah, I did.
How do you feel about the fact that they wouldn't even clap for the lowest black unemployment numbers ever?
I was asking the question about that. Did you cut me off?
I'm asking you the question. How come it's a simple question. How did you feel when you saw these guys not willing to clap for the lowest black unemployment numbers in history?
I'm trying to understand what is there to clap about. I have a question to ask.
There's nothing to clap about being from the Congressional Black Caucus during the State of the Union speech.
All I want, so I could only clap if you give me the facts. Okay, right now I'm just hearing something.
Play the clip again. Play the clip again. He wants to hear the facts.
No, from your eyes.
No, it's not about my eyes. I'm talking about the president's eyes. He gave the speech.
They can tell you anything. They can tell you anything.
Apparently, they're going to blame it on. They're going to say it. I think that I saw that the Congressional Black Caucus should have stood up and applauded for the low. You're asking me what I saw. I saw a bunch of pouty, whiny congressional leaders that were mad because the black unemployment numbers
African American
were the lowest ever,
at the lowest rate,
and they couldn't muster up enough time to apologize. I'm starting to feel like my man's over here. What else do you want? What else do you want? What else do you want? What did I see? I saw a bunch of elected leaders unwilling to.
No. I'm telling you. You asked me, did I clap?
I didn't ask you, did you clap? I asked you, what did you think about your elected officials not clap? I'm not expecting you to clap from home.
What more do you want from me?
You need a rewind button in your studio. You need a rewind button in your studio so you can hear yourself.
Listen, have you been listening to the show? I guess is the question. I've been talking about it the whole time.
I've been listening since you started.
So why are you trying to you do understand what I'm asking you? How do you feel when you see your elected official? It's a simple question, man. That's really what it comes down to. How do you feel about your elected official? Not how do I feel. I've already told you how I felt. How do you feel about your elected officials not willing at the State of the Union to clap on the lowest black unemployment numbers ever? Are you cool with that? Does that show leadership? Does that helpful to the black constituency?
What is there to clap about?
The lowest black unemployment numbers ever. That is something to clap about.
Sir, where did you see?
Oh, my God. You still won't just answer the question. All right, man. If you won't answer the question, I'm going to go to the next voter who's elected a black elected official. I just want to know, how did you feel? Why are we kids? It's not a psychology thing here. How did you feel?
Sir, you gave no accurate information.
All right, man. Next caller. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it, my friend. All right, let's go to the next person who can answer the question. How did you feel about that? I just said that, Michael. The Bureau of Labor Statistics. What else does this guy want? What else do you want from me? What else do you want from me?
What more do you want from me?
Oh, my goodness. All right, man, let's bring JJ back on. Let's bring JJ on.
Hey, Wayne, how you doing, man? The voice of reason.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Well, you got the patience of Job and the love of Jesus, my brother.
I am a Buddhist monk on my time off, and that's why I'm so calm.
I got a couple things I want to talk about. But Walter reminds me of John the Baptist, man. I got to find him a camel's hair jacket. He's a voice crying in the wilderness, man.
Oh.
I can give him some wild honey and locusts.
Shout out to Walter again. He's much appreciated. These lines are blowing up tonight. I guess there's a lot of mad Democrats that want to maybe speak up to how they feel, JJ. But what did you think about that last night?
I think they're a bunch of hypocrites. Let me ask you this, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Planned Parenthood kills 100,000 black Americans every year, 100,000 of them. And then Cory Booker's got the nerve to sit there and grill that one woman. I forget who it was. And it's all a show.
These phones are going dumb tonight, folks. I just want to say, I'm sorry, JJ. It's like all the way filled up right now. Numbers is going down. I guess people are a little mad about that. Somebody wants to call in and defend it. As you can hear from the last caller, he just wouldn't answer the question. He kept asking, where did I get the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Michael? If that answers your question.
Oh, the haters.
He just couldn't.
The haters are going to keep hating. The haters are going to keep hating. No matter what you do, the haters are always going to hate.
I see that. I mean, like he was going in. It was like going to a mental pretzel. I just asked a question. How do you feel about that? Are you good with it or not? I'm not good with it. Okay. I'm not good with the Congressional Black Caucus, who is supposed to represent a black constituency that can't even get the nerve up to clap for the lowest black unemployment numbers ever. It's just the principle of it. That's all. That's all it is.
Right, you think out of the box. Check this out. Now think about this. I was thinking about this. About the wall, indirectly Mexico paying. Dude, they moved a plant from Mexico to Michigan. So those are going to be American workers paying taxes. So actually, indirectly, with just that Chrysler plant, Mexico is paying indirectly for that wall.
And just like when all the tree huggers were mad when he put the tariff on the solar panels and equipment, well, guess what the Chinese makers said? Hey, we'll bring those jobs to America. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to help this country to get back on the right track.
And one more point, brother.
Go ahead, JJ.
In over here, I think it was West Bloomfield, it was Chinese people. Okay, Chinese people had 4 illegal Mexicans in the basement, and they died in a fire. This was just recently over here in West Bloomfield.
Right. I remember hearing about that.
Right. Okay, so you had 4 illegals die. So they were slaves hanging out in the basement. Mm-hmm. Okay, you got people, because I've heard this from people, illegal immigrants in the fields picking lettuce, being raped by their masters. Okay, they can't say anything because they're illegal and they don't speak English. I would think black people would be appalled because that's modern day slavery. But see, people don't think like that because they listen to CNN, MSNBC, and they're brainwashed. The media is brainwashing people, and they can't think out of the box.
Thanks.
That's what I love about you, brother.
God
bless you. Great show. And
I appreciate you calling in today. I'm trying to relax. I'm cooling down now. Some cooler heads are prevailing. Thanks for calling in today.
All right, brother.
All right. And Michael Moon, you're right. I'm going to ask all you folks to separate the facts from their feelings. Get out of your feelings. It's a lot of he-emotional men. That's right. I said it. He-emotional. Got these guys on Facebook getting all he-emotional. I understand that. Calm down. Relax. Getting all bent out of shape because of black unemployment numbers are so low. Like, that's a bad thing. Let's go to Betty, who's on the line. Betty, thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Hi, Betty. Thanks for calling in. Can you hear me, Betty?
Who am I speaking now?
Betty, turn your radio down. You're on the phone with Wayne Bradley here on the Wayne Bradley Show.
Well, you're the very person I wanted to speak to because do you think?
Well, welcome.
Now, you always like to give your kudos to your educational background, but you must have been in special education.
No.
No. Let's go back to the Central Park 5. That man said, kill him.
Why are we talking about that? Do we want to go back to what? Did you want to go back to what Hillary Clinton said when she called black men super predators? You probably were voting for her. Did you want to go back to the Clintons when they created the prison industrial complex that we have today? But you were going to vote for her?
No. You have to go back to where these things started.
You mean like with Senator Byrd, her mentor? You mean Senator Byrd?
It's really useless talking to you because you can't think, and then you keep talking about statistics.
You call with an insult. You won't answer the question. How did you feel last night?
Lie, but figures don't.
And so, exactly.
However you want to twist that stuff, sir, you can. I'm surprised I got your name because I thought I was missing you by keeping my radio off in the morning because you are just pathetic.
But here you are calling in now. And I do appreciate you calling in. Oh, please, Betty, come on. Stop with the fear tactics. Thank you for calling in, Betty. Wow. Insulting people like that, that's so politically incorrect. Referring to someone as slow or having some kind of mental issue, that's just wrong. Sad. Very sad. All right, let's go to Lee. My man Lee, I think calling in from all the way from Grand Rapids. Big Lee, thanks for calling in.
Brother Bradley, how you doing? Much love to you.
Much love, my brother.
What side of this state representing for you? I tell you what, first of all, I take homage to the lady that just called you. Betty, get a job, get a life, learn how to talk to people in a respectful way if you want that respect given to you. Thank you very much. Now, anyway, back to this whole Black Caucus thing, Mr. Green. You got all these black people sitting there with their stars around their neck, showing their solidarity to the black people. Guess what? I'm one of those black people that got a job because of all the things that have been going on in the last couple of years. You know what? I appreciate that I got that job, and where I can remember this state having 9%, 11% unemployment at one time. You know, now it's down to about sub 5%. And you won't at least applaud that. I don't care if you don't like the man. I don't have to necessarily like the man. I don't have to necessarily like some of the things he says. But I do have to appreciate the things that have happened because of what he's done.
It's the results.
And what the previous president has started. I'm not even going to take credit away from him for the things that he might have actually enacted himself.
No question.
Here's what I have a problem with. Why won't you at least stand up and represent for the people that have tried to serve your country the best they have on the battlefield, who have gotten injured, who've gotten wounded, who've gone ahead and lost limbs, who've gone ahead and lost their life? You won't stand up for them?
It's ridiculous.
I don't care.
It's ridiculous.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. If you can't stand up for the people that protects your ass, don't stand up and say anything about anybody else's.
Thank you,
Have
Lee.
a good night, brother.
Thank you, Lee, for calling in, my brother. I appreciate it. All right, man, we got so many calls. I mean, these lines are blowing up tonight. 313-778-7600. You got about 10 to 12 calls on the line right now. You got phone calls for days. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to try to make some of these quick. But Calvin, thanks for calling in.
That's Dalvin.
Dalvin, I'm sorry about that, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to say that about your topic, I was delighted and happy to see that the Black Caucus and the rest of the Democrats did not clap for this man. Because I'm like this here. Why clap for this individual when possibly in the future they're going to be the ones to impeach this man? So what sense does that make to pat somebody on the back?
Impeach him for what?
When you are going to be the one, when you're going to be the one that's going to be escorting them out the door, possibly.
Dream on. What? Impeach him for what? I'm just curious. What's an impeachable offense?
You take your pick, brother. Mental insanity, possibly. The Russia situation.
What's that? What is the Russia situation? I still can't figure that out.
North Korea?
North Korea is not a situation that he's wrong in. So I'm okay. So Russia.
Mm-hmm. Mueller.
Mueller is the problem.
Come on, brother.
Mueller's the problem.
Dealing with a porn star.
Oh,
Something's going to get this guy.
Has nothing.
His taxes. Bottom line is, bro, I was happy to see that they didn't clap. And my thing is this: if I was there, I wish somebody would have had a problem with me not clapping. I don't want to clap. I ain't gonna clap. Check this out.
Does that help? Does that help in trying to help get the black folks, the black voters, and the black constituency, our needs communicated? Does that help? I'm just curious.
Help? What does clapping do anyway?
Does that help? Does it help? Does it help us at the table in negotiations?
I'm trying to explain right now. Claps don't do nothing but pat that guy's ego. Well, I don't think nobody.
Hey, listen, let's just be honest.
I hear the speech all the way through.
But it happens with every State of the Union address. Every president says stuff and people clap. Come on now, that's my point. Why is it so different for him?
I think it's redundant. I think it's ridiculous. And let me ask you a question: did the Republicans clap for Obama?
With certain issues, yes, they did. Not every one of them, no. But there were certain issues that they clap with the President Obama as well. Now, so that's my point. Why would we're talking about a very specific issue here, okay? Did he hang up? He hung up? Okay, well, I guess, whatever. All right, let's go to, oh, man, I'm bringing in Olaf. I ain't heard from Olaf in a while. I know Olaf feeling me right now. He understands where I'm coming from. As a Democrat, he understands. He understands what's going on.
Way. The only Republican they ever had love for. What's up with you, bro?
What's happening with you, brother? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, Wayne, let me break it down to you like this. My fellow weak Democrats, they got some balls for one night and did what they were supposed to. I'm sorry, Wayne. They wasn't supposed to stand up for that man, dog. They just wasn't.
they did the right thing, and like my man, dude, right before me, a lot of times those your fellow Republicans, they didn't stand up for Obama. You had guys out there saying you lied and all this other crap, man. No,
hey, the guy from Illinois last night walked out, and I don't see anybody complaining about that. The guy walked out. The Latino leader from Illinois, Gutierrez, I believe.
Yeah.
He walked out with a kente cloth on. I thought that was pretty cool. A Latino brother repping the kente cloth. I can't take nothing away from him. He's 10 toes down for that. But he walked right out. Could you imagine if a white Republican had just decided, you know what, I've had enough of this, and I'm just going to walk out while President Obama was speaking? The "you lied" thing was bad, right? But
well, brother, you had a fellow Republican that stood and said that you lied, Mr. President.
Well, you know what he did? Olaf, you know what he said? He said that somehow or another Obamacare wasn't going to affect illegal immigrants. So do you think he told the truth or not?
Well, wait, let me ask you this. No.
Come on, Olaf. He lied. He lied, man. He did lie. He called him. He shouldn't have did it like that, but he lied.
But wait, let me ask you this, real quick about the economy.
Okay.
Now, you know this now, Wayne. You know that a president doesn't own the economy until his first 16 to 18 months. So this is still President Obama's economy.
How can you? I would almost agree with you on that. I would almost agree with you on that, but I would almost agree with you on that. But the way he has worked this government, the way the economy has flowed, the way GDP is up, it has a lot to do with his tax rate, the regulations he's gotten rid of, all of the Obama regulations that made it harder for businesses to do business here, and then on top of that, the tax cut. And if you look at the way the Dow has increased 70 times in 1 year, you had record highs. I can't blame you. Can't give Obama that because that didn't happen during his time.
Well, sir, but you know this. This was already forecast 6-7 months, a year ago. It was forecast that the economy.
Well, of course, Obama's going to forecast that going out.
Still, Obama. Let me ask you this, Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Does President Trump own this economy yet? Yes or no?
He owns a piece of this economy. Come on now, are you kidding me? How can he not own a piece of the economy? He's been running for the last year, and it's the best it's ever been. Black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been. How can he not get a piece of that action? I understand what Obama supporters would say is that, hey, he had 8 years to get it back. He had us running in place. That's how I put it. Trump is taking it to the next level. He's putting us on steroids. He's putting this economy on steroids right now. Tax cuts and the end of regulations will always boost the economy. It will, $3 billion in bonuses does a lot to the, the stock market. People all of a sudden become more confident. Consumer spending goes up. The GDP goes up. These are all things that Donald Trump has made possible, not President Obama.
But sir, let me ask you this. What's going to happen this time next year when your tribal leader is not in office?
How is this going to happen? How is this going to happen?
Sir, this was his first and last State of the Union, sir. You do know that.
I really want all of my Democrat friends to just get in a safe space. I want to hug y'all all at one time and tell you that he's going to get 4 years. And if y'all keep up this foolishness, all this snowflake behavior, he's going to get another 4 years. I promise you.
All right, sir. You just keep on.
You just watch.
Been praying on the brother. Yeah, he's out of here, bro. He don't know. The man doesn't know what he's doing, man. But hey, we'll see what happens, bro.
Oh man, y'all won't give this man his props. Thank you, Ola, for calling in. All right, man. We got to go to Miss Marcia, my favorite socialist. She's probably going to say we need to spend more. Give back those tax cuts.
Of course, I didn't watch the speech because I'm not a woman that actually listen to a bunch of lies.
You should have listened in, Miss Marcia. You missed a powerful speech. Even your boy Bernie Sanders had to clap a little bit. He knows the economy is wrong, man.
I guess when he said something about unity, but I didn't see Bernie say. But, I know that the big redhead Kennedy boy, you can just ignore.
Oh, don't get me started on him.
He's a fake.
His lip gloss was the star of the show last night.
And he's also owned by the pharmaceutical companies. He don't believe in Medicare for all. He don't want to have marijuana taken off from Schedule 1. So he's another fake Democrat.
It shows you how pitiful the Democrat Party is, that they have to go dig up a Kennedy to be the forefront of
fake Kennedy. A fake redhead Kennedy. He's a fake. Okay, go ahead. He's a fake redhead. That's who he is.
I tell you what, Miss Marcia, you missed a great speech last night.
No, I still did it. But what I'm concerned about is that 63 Sears stores are closing, 45 Kmart, 68.
Hey, Miss Marcia, I gotta go to a break real quick. I'm gonna put you on hold, and I'm gonna come back. And then I'm going to go through these calls. We got about 10 to 12 more calls here. So we got the show bumping tonight. I guess really questioning the CBC. That gets a lot of calls calling in. Thanks for all the callers that have called in. I appreciate it. You listen to the Wayne Bradley Show on 910 AM, your superstation, the future of radio.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show.
Whatever you need, it's right here on 910 AM Superstation.
We are here today with my friend, Everard Casimir.
Yes, sir.
If you weren't an anchorman, what would you be?
I think I'd be writing music.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you write music?
I can.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I sang at the fireworks this past.
Oh.
With Thornetta Davis.
You know what? You sure did.
I did. Did you watch?
No.
At least he's honest, right?
Donald Trump has now said he's removing the Obamacare subsidies, which will make it harder for people to offer, the Obamacare package. Now, what I think he's doing, he's going to make Congress work together. Senator Rand Paul, who is one of my favorite guys in D.C., is working with him on crafting this bill. So I have confidence that it's going to work out for the American people.
910 AM Superstation. We are the future of radio. There's always something new to talk about, and 910 AM Superstation wants to have you covered from every angle. So we're adding some familiar voices and strong opinions to the best talk radio station in town. 910 AM Superstation has arrived, and we're here to stay. We got the topics, the guests, the opinions, and the facts. From 7 to 9 a.m., we'll have the editor for the Detroit News, Nolan Finley.
This is the most volatile time in the country in my professional career. And, that generates a lot of news, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Followed by the one and only David Alexander Bullock from 9 to 11 a.m.
The People Show, man, we bring it to you live and in full effect.
The always insightful and controversial Steve Niebling from 11 a.m. to noon.
And I do want to hear from you what you want to hear from me.
Bankalay Thompson from noon to 2 p.m.
This is the platform where we delve into the facts and informed opinion. We ask the tough questions.
The Cliff Russell Show from 2 to 4 p.m.
I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care.
Spud from 4 to 6 p.m.
Detroit's only African-American talk station, 24/7 Spud is here.
Whatever you need, it's right here on 910 AM Superstation, the future of radio.
This Pastor Mo, a.k.a. the street preacher, a.k.a. the street sweeper, a.k.a. my brother and sister's keeper.
910 AM Superstation. We are the future of radio. 910 AM Superstation gives you the flip side, the real side. This is our side.
Listen live now. The number one station, period.
And on that note, let's get back to the program.
The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Detroit's only urban talk radio station.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative political radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative political radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what
Welcome to the Wayne Bradley Show. Been a fun evening so far. A ton of calls. We're We're going to try to get through them today. So, folks, if I'm shorter than usual, we got so many folks. And last night we had folks that were left on the line. I don't want to do that. So we're going to try to do our best to get through all these calls. Miss Marcia, welcome back.
Well, thank you, dear. Listen, I want to note that 64 Democrats signed on for him, including Debbie Stabenow and Peter, signed for the person whom they think has colluded with the Russians. They signed on, 64 of them signed with Republicans to give Donald Trump $700 billion worth of military spending, even though they said he's stupid, he's dumb, he's irrational, he colluded with the Russians, he's a womanizer. But they managed to help him get the largest military budget.
That's all fake. That's all fake news, Miss Marcia. He's a stable genius. A solid businessman, and a strong leader.
You know that's a joke. You know that man is unstable.
He's a stable genius. I agree with what he said. What are you talking about?
But I'm just saying that the Democrats is not our friends. And I think that the people need to understand that.
Well, they're obviously not our friends.
Democrats don't straighten up.
Mm-hmm.
If you all do not straighten up,
tell them.
And vote for Bernie Sanders and vote for all progressive legislators.
Oh yes, vote for all of them.
Then you know what? You all are going to have 4 more years for Trump.
They're going to have 4 more years anyway.
They're unstable, so they trying to get a war started. Don't support. Are you ready to put on your boots and go off and fight in Iran? Are you ready to go there?
You said, am I ready? I'm a little old for that, but
No, you ain't too old to go fight for your country. The way
I'm not.
Sit everybody else kids out. No. You all Republicans like to sit everybody else.
Listen here. We're gonna listen. Well, the fact is I agree with your first statement, as we can't trust the Democrats. I don't know about all the other stuff you're talking about, but you're right about that. And they're not going to vote for Bernie Sanders because they proved it before. They will rig the election. They'll probably throw it to the little Kennedy. Whose lip gloss was popping last
that's
night.
why I'm getting out this information right now. He's a fake, and he don't believe in Medicare.
You ought to see his house. It's got a wall that protects it. It's unbelievable. The same kind of wall that he doesn't want America to have. He's got one for his house.
That's how it is in America. Poor people, dirty poor people vote for millionaires, multi-millionaires. Bernie Sanders, Obama now has over $80 million in his account. He came into office and had holes in the bottom of his shoes.
He's living the good life.
That can be bought.
Well, I'm not going.
Corporations are people too.
Yep, so, you're right.
His
all right, well, Miss Marcia, I got to get to these next callers.
Okay, right. Guess what? She was $55 million. Do you understand me? This is a money game. We got to start trying to get us some money.
That's right. Well, it ain't going to happen being a Democrat because the Congressional Black Caucus won't even cheer for you if low unemployment is happening. Lord Jesus. All right, let's go to Keith. Keith is on the line.
Hello, Wayne. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Keith?
It's Apostle Bar.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
This is Apostle Bar. How you doing?
Apostle Bar, my guy. Oh, yeah. We might have a little more fire tonight. Oh, now I'm excited. One of my favorite people calling in tonight.
Thank you.
Apostle Bar. All right, I'll ask you these questions. I'm going to just let you hit them out the park here because I know you've got the eloquence to deliver this. What did you think? Okay. What did you think, one, when you saw the Congressional Black Caucus not willing to stand up and clap for the lowest black unemployment numbers ever in America?
I think it was disgusting. I think I was ashamed of them. I was like, what are they for?
They throw some great parties during Black Congressional Caucus Week. They do throw some great parties.
That's about it. But they're not really for the African American people. If there's anything we should be happy about, you should be happy that jobs, and this is one of the reasons that I've always been a Trump supporter from the beginning, as you know.
Yes, you were.
And it's because I knew he was a man that thought outside the box. I knew he was a very brilliant man, and he was a guy in New York that they tapped whenever they needed to get something done that other people couldn't get done.
Yep.
And he got it done.
Yes, he did.
And so I was very excited for him to become president. I knew he was going to be president. and I told people that. But I was excited because of what it would mean for us.
I agree.
And that's why they should have stood and clapped, because they cared about us. But they showed that they don't care about us. They care about them. They care about the money in their pockets. And that's why they're so sick, because Trump is blowing up the whole mentality, ideology. And see, because a liberal really cannot, someone that's a liberal and wedded to their ideology will never be good economically for the country, because they're going to do the wrong things. A lot of our people that is constantly vote Democratic, you don't know that your lives have been made harder because of the Democrats, because they insisted for putting things on the auto companies, for instance, increased miles per gallon, and some of the stuff that was really, really unnecessary. They told us we had to cut back we had to increase miles per gallon, and we had to cut back because we didn't have enough oil. The oil wouldn't last. And I didn't find out they got more oil than ever.
Right.
And so they instituted policies that have hurt us. Nancy Pelosi said years ago
the same woman. Now, this is what gets me about this, Apostle Barr. The same woman that kicked out John Conyers, told him he wasn't welcomed anymore in the Democrat Party, is the same one telling this Congressional Black Caucus group, hey, y'all better not stand for those Donald Trump unemployment numbers. I know they're good. Why does the Congressional Black Caucus continue to follow aimlessly behind the likes of Nancy Pelosi?
Well, you can always say money and power, And a lot of people, that's all they care about is really money and power. They're not caring about, if they were cared about what was best for Donald Trump, they would, when he talked about what he wanted to do for the black community right here in Michigan, when he spoke at Grand Rapids, we was there.
Yep.
I was there, and my daughters was there. But they put our lives, there wasn't no black people there. And I'm surrounded by black people.
Right.
And both of them up. They would have been happy because no president had ever promised to do as much for the black community. No president, none of them. And some of them I really liked, and some of them I was okay with, but none of them, including Obama, never promised to do as much for the black community. And
you're right, Apostle Barr. You are totally right.
He said it even again, in his inauguration speech.
And wrapping this up, Apostle Barr, he's the only one that's actually delivered on the promises he made to our community.
And if they really cared, they would at least have said, I hope he can do it. But no, they're sitting up there mad, like I don't know how to describe it, because the truth is getting out, and he has been good for America and good for all of us. A lot of people don't understand, as conservatives.
Thank you so much, Apostle Barr, for lending some light to that situation. I appreciate you calling in, sir. You can't hang up on that. That's like my second dad right there, man. That's my guy right there. Thank you, Apostle Barr, for calling in. All right, let's go. We got so many calls here. We got to go to Sheila. We're going to go to Sheila. Sheila, thanks for calling in.
Hey, Mr. Bradley, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm fine. Well, do I have a problem with the Black Caucus not clapping and not standing? Nope, I don't. I don't have an issue with it.
Do you think that helps our cause in terms of working with the president by purposely trying to make?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I know last night is not working with the president, but do you think that helps our cause as the black constituents, the black voters that have helped get these folks elected, that they're not willing to work with the president, but they're more than willing to protest against him? Do you think this is an effective strategy for getting anything done in terms of the urban agenda in America?
Okay, the idea of them standing, sitting, kneeling, or yelling has nothing to do with them helping with my best interest at heart.
Are they doing that anyway?
Doesn't matter.
I'm asking that. Are they doing that? Because they've refused to come sit down at the table with the president. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, are they? Is that what we need right now? Protesters as our elected officials in office.
That's how you can get things done, by protest. There's a lot of ways to protest. You can stop spending. Mm-hmm. You can stop acknowledging them. There's a lot of ways. Guess what? You want a protest, silent protest, loud protest. You protest the radio station by not listening. There's a lot of protest. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being, I'm just saying. There are a lot of ways to protest. Okay, I didn't want anyone to misconstrue that. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't want you boycotting us on the radio here.
There are a lot of, but I talk to you. I'm always polite, so.
Yes.
There are a lot of ways that you can protest to get your point across. Now, you're saying them not working with the president. How do you know? First of all, we're not there. So I don't know what they said. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. That's the problem. But I'm not about to jump on the Trump bandwagon. He's this, that, and the other. I'm not doing all of that because I don't know what's being done.
Well,
okay?
you know what, Sheila? You gave the fairest answer of anyone that's called in. I appreciate that.
If you want to know my heart, though? No one has had my interest at heart anyway. No one. I told you before, you and I have always had this discussion. I said in order for Sheila to get where she has to go, it starts with me.
Amen.
Maybe I should run for office. You know what? Maybe I should run for office. There has never been a man, male, female, dog, or cat that has actually had my best interest at heart. It starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with anyone who listens to my voice or who has a voice. Now, there is not one man in this world that's going to do anything to stop all world hunger, peace, that, and the other. It is you. It is you.
Amen,
now,
Sheila.
I'm not about to say, well, you know what? I put it like this. If the Democrats don't get it right, I've been stabbed enough. Gone by trash. Debbie Dingle, I've been gone by trash. If you do not have my best interest at heart, I don't want to be razzle-dazzle with the BS.
If
you put in the work, okay? Pelosi, she can go too. All of them. We need a clean slate, and it's not Democrat and Republicans. Because let me tell you, at the end of the day, the people who you have not spoken to and who you do not address, and I love Miss Marcia. I love her to bits and pieces. But this is who you have to have. You need younger voices.
Yes.
You cannot have new progression with 1969 and 75 ideas. Okay,
Preach
so
on, Sheila.
With that being said, everybody want to talk about millennials. That's who you need because that's who's going to take care of you, your Social Security. That's who's going to make your decision. Not this cat that's 70 years old or this woman that's 69. They've already had their shot. You need to be pulling somebody who's 30 to 40. At least start training them. But we have this society where, well, I got mine. I'm going to keep mine. I'm going to be in office for 60, 50 years.
There you go.
And nothing gets done. That's all I'm saying. Nothing gets done. It's not about Democrat, Republican. I don't care. I'm not tooting that horn. It's the work that needs to be done at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Sheila. That was you know what? That was the most insightful phone call that I've had this evening about this. Thank you so much for calling in this evening. You deserve an applause. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to... Man, we got so many folks here. Let's go to Otis. Otis, you're on the line.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Otis Mathis from African Town, 48217, Southwest Detroit. Court County at one end, African Town at the other end.
Okay.
And, so the question you asked about what do you think about the black congressional officials not applauding, to me it's the same. When white elected officials applauded for George Bush, killing the economy, they were, Republicans like yourself. When white Republicans didn't clap for President Obama when he had brought the economy back, as you said, ran in place. But, man, I'm glad he brought it back to a higher quality of life for us to run in place because Bush was killing us. Another thing, the white Republicans didn't, because they didn't have black elected officials in the Republican Party. So unless there was one, I don't remember. So the white Republicans
talking about like Tim Scott.
You
talking about like Tim Scott, Alan West, William Hurd, Mia Love. I mean, there's a nice, we got a nice couple folks in there.
They weren't there when maybe West was before those whites threw him out of office before Obama.
Tim Scott and Alan West.
The young lady and the Senate. The Senate guy wasn't there. They was after Obama, pretty much.
Well, Tim Scott was in Congress at that time. He wasn't even a senator. He was a Congressman.
Neil West?
No, Tim Scott.
Oh, I was getting ready to say.
No, Tim Scott.
West was.
And West was, too. He came in 2010 and was out.
Right, and they threw him out. Right.
Well, you know, again,
Whatever's happening in that district in Florida.
Yeah, he got redistricted. That's what happened.
Okay, he got defeated. We call it redistricting, whatever. When everyone lose, you just get defeated. You ran, you lost, no matter if it's a new district. That's the fact.
Okay.
You said facts, right?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
And another. Okay, you said I love dealing with facts. And then you said that there was a plot in Bush, and when Bush messed up the 401ks, there wasn't a lot of black folks getting 401ks. When the rich white folks decided to cash out because they knew the crash was coming.
But Otis,
coal miners.
Do you notice the theme? Do you notice the theme we're talking about here?
Folks that could have 401ks, watch them shrink by 50,
But do you notice the theme of what you're talking about here? These are all negative occurrences, and you're saying that people.
Obama comes in and he increases he decreases the unemployment. Matter of fact is that even with Trump, and I give Trump.
So I'm assuming the Black Congressional Caucus clapped when he did that. When he reduced the number of when Obama every year, even though it was moving at a snail's pace, every year he would say.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So why wouldn't they clap now when it's at the lowest it's ever been?
Right. They clapped then, but the white Republicans didn't.
I'm not asking about that. I'm talking about black Democrats.
Black Democrats.
Why wouldn't they consistently vote for
Obama? You can't throw the white folks in on Obama. You can't.
I'm just talking about. We're just talking about black folks and black unemployment. How come they couldn't be consistent?
What are you talking about? When Obama brought the black unemployment down.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Right.
White folks didn't clap.
I'm not talking about white folks here. I'm talking about black folks.
Clap.
Why did why did black folks?
When Trump brought the unemployment down and by 1%.
This is only his first year. It's only his first year.
Right. Obama.
It's the lowest it's ever been ever, though.
Trump brought it down in the 1 year, last year, 2017, and black folks didn't clap. It's the same thing with white folks. Why is it?
No, we're not talking about why. This is what gets me so frustrated with the black Democrat argument. What do white folks have to do with black folks cheering for black low unemployment? I don't understand. I'm just talking about black Democrats.
I'll tell you what it got to do with it.
Go ahead, tell me.
You want me to answer that? What it got
please.
to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
It got to do with Democrat and Republicans. Because even though even though those black folks are skin color of darker complexion, they are still Democrats. Yet because they're Democrats, we want to focus on their skin color. We don't focus on white Republican skin color when they don't clap. When Felix McCarter got through out of Congress.
Man, you guys have a knee-jerk reaction to the question. We're just talking about black folk. We're talking about our Black Congressional Congress.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying be fair. That's all I'm saying.
I don't understand why are we going before that. I'm asking.
Black folks in the Republican Party. So you point to blacks who didn't clap.
I'm talking about my folks. I'm talking about the people in my community. I'm not worried about white folks right now. We're having a talk between us. There's two black folks here talking about black. Why should I worry about them right now? I'm not electing them.
Because they got through out of Congress, why is it that the white Republicans threw him out, but black they get through out? I'm just saying, let's do some fair treatment. I know you're a Republican.
Wait a minute. I think what the Nancy Pelosi did to John Conyers was almost. I think what Nancy Pelosi did to John Conyers was terrible, and I'm a Republican. I think what she did was disgraceful.
Felix McCarter was terrible?
To who? I thought what Nancy Pelosi did.
Republican Felix McCarter from Farmington.
What happened?
He was on 9/10 on Saturday.
I know him very well.
You know what I mean?
That was a clerical error on him not.
Negative about blacks. You're a Republican. He's on 9/10 as you are. I don't know why they call it a black station. Doesn't make any sense. 9/10.
Well, it's the future of radio now.
Out of Congress in Livonia, but you didn't even recognize that.
What did you? Wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know how you guys. Now you Democrats are pretty slick, man. I don't know how you managed to turn this around. Thaddeus McCotter, but that was good, man. Thank you, Otis. That was good, man. I got to give him props for that. He managed to somehow turn this whole conversation into something what white folks is doing. We're just focusing on black people. Black Congressional Caucus, black low unemployment. That was good, Otis. That was smart. That was a spin. That was a good spin. Like Akeem Olajuwon spin, as someone said earlier. Pump fake me. All right, do we got time for one more call here? No. All right, so look, when we're going to come back from the break, we've got Chad and we've got Michael. Michael and Chad have been waiting a while, so I promise as soon as we get back, we're coming to you guys. And we've got another 40 minutes. We're going to get up through everybody here, so I promise we're going to talk to you. Thanks for calling in on the Wayne Bradley Show on 910 a.m., your Superstation.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative Political Radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show.
We've got Chad live and good on the line from Crane's Detroit Business. Chad, what's going on in the business world this week?
I got a cover story today about traffic trends at the bridge in Detroit and also Port Huron, our international crossings, as we're preparing as a region to build this new bridge. The projections that were always used to justify construction of this bridge have not held up. Back in 2010, when Governor Granholm was still in office and was still pushing to try to get a vote on the legislature on authorizing construction of the bridge. This is before Governor Snyder took over this project. So we're kind of at a critical juncture now in this planning for this Gordie Howe Bridge. The bids are due in May. The consortium of companies that are competing to build, design, and finance the construction of the bridge are in line to try to have a deal in place by next September.
910 AM Superstation, the future of radio.
910 AM Superstation is launching a new initiative called the 910 AM Ambassadors Program,
where schools will be provided a platform to allow their inspiring broadcast and media students to weekly broadcast, highlighting their schools.
All we will need is a 60-second video taken from a smartphone, tablet, or video camera, highlighting a story at your school.
Whether it's featuring one of your athletic teams, a student organization helping in a community, a student being chosen for a scholarship, or a teacher's unique approach to relating to students.
Whatever weekly story will best show how your school is unique and set apart, that's what we want to promote.
Your weekly video will be featured on all our social media platforms, from Facebook to Instagram.
To receive more information or speak with our ambassador representative, email us at 910amradio@gmail.com.
And don't forget to watch and listen for your story soon on 910 AM Superstation, the future of radio.
It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative Political Radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Conservative Political Radio. Giving you what you need to know. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. That's what it is. Listen up. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Oh, it's the Wayne Bradley Show. It's the Wayne Bradley Show. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Wayne Bradley Show. It's been a powerful show today. Here on the
ton of cars.
Here on the future of radio.
Ton of cars.
Yes. Come on, I want to hear it one more time because I don't know what they want from me. What else do they want from me? What else?
What more do you want from me?
What else do they want from me?
What more do you want from me?
You guys, man, you killing me. You killing me. You guys are killing me tonight. All right, let's go. We gotta get to these calls, man. We gotta get to them. All right, let's go to Chad, who's been waiting. Thank you, Chad, for waiting so long. I appreciate it. Chad, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Brady?
Oh,
again, I want to commend you, and I take my hat off to you for your bravery, for speaking up for the Republican Party. Like I said, I think that it is embarrassing and quite disrespectful for, what the Black Caucus members had did, and what they were doing is very hypocritical, like you said, for them not, acknowledging what Nancy Pelosi did to one of the Democratic, Party members, Congress, you know what I mean?
Right.
And this is my thing. You still have to respect the position, although I know that position is not as high as, the president, let alone as high as the governor. But I thought when we had that embarrassment over 6 or 8 years ago now in Detroit, you know what I mean? And you know who I'm talking about. You know, he walked around with his cool shit and getting caught up in that, you know, type of lifestyle, and he caught up with him. All he did was embarrass black people and help add, you know, to that stereotype that they have about the city anyway. And so I'm speaking on the level of, you know, the commander-in-chief, the president. Like I said, you have to respect. I remember as a kid growing up, and obviously I'm older than you, not a whole lot of what I'm in junior foot, but I remember seeing Nixon on TV crying when he was, you know, being impeached or whatnot. But prior to when that thing had happened, you still had to respect him, you know what I mean, his office as the president and stuff, and you still had to, you know, hold him accountable or whatnot. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. I know you guys will call us. It's just like, again, anybody of authority, a principal to a school, from a governor to a president or a mayor or chief of police or whoever, if they're doing wrong, you know, let the authority or whatever, you know, the system or whatever play itself out. It is not for us, people, you know, to chastise them, you know what I mean, or whatnot, whether you like or agree with what they're doing now, because President Obama, he showed me a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? And a lot of things, he just happened to be an Afro-American.
He unfortunately, he had the complexion protection in our community that we wouldn't even challenge the man, you know?
I'm saying just because of that, and that was wrong. You know what that is? And I'm going to say this time ago, that would make Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. turn over his grave, because he said he fought and died for the fact that people will be judged by the contents of their character, not by the color of their skin. But us Afro-Americans, a lot of us get it twisted. You know what I mean? Yes. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, and we need to get over that. You know what I mean? And stuff, because nobody's perfect. We all got skeletons in our closet. Who was that in the Bible say he without sin cast the first stone? You know what I mean? But you got to respect what he done, and then by no way should Obama, you know, President Trump keep, you know, getting the brunt. People saying, well, yeah, that's what President Obama started or whatnot. Well, you know,
his time is past now. And bottom line is that Donald Trump has injected confidence. He's injected capital from other companies into this economy in America. And that's what's turning this thing around. So thank you so much, Chad, for waiting so long. And I appreciate you for calling in today, friend.
Keep up the good work and stay encouraged.
Thank you, my friend. God bless you. All right, let's go to Michael. Curtis? No, Michael. Michael's been waiting a minute there. Michael, thank you for waiting on the line so patiently.
Hey, no problem, brother. I'm going to come in and do the time constraint. So the Congressional Black Caucus didn't collapse. So let's just do a quick rundown. Wayne, do they support vouchers, the DC Hope Scholarship, that actually has been shown to increase black achievement?
Not at all.
Are they against the Davis-Bacon Act that kicked black people out of construction jobs?
Nope.
Are they against the licensing laws that was put up as a barrier in the 1930s to black people getting jobs since they had the education now?
Nope. Okay, so do they support the repealing of the minimum wage laws, which makes black people have to charge higher services due to the poor schools that we have, and we don't have the skills because of the bad schools they gave us? Wow. So the CBC has just been consistent. They can't clap for the things that are helping black folks when they vote and spend their whole careers making black people as subservient to them as possible. How dare they actually clap for something that gives us progress that would make them obsolete? So of course you're not going to clap. It's unbelievable. I really, like I said, I was just at a loss for words, and I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, these guys really are going to sit here and not going to clap for low black unemployment. But, hey, like you said, Michael, when you just go down the list, I guess we should not be surprised. Isn't that right?
No, we shouldn't be surprised. Let me make this quick point. I give him a B minus on the State of the Union. I found a lot of it to be inspiring. I just wish he'd go away from the war on drugs. It's failed.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to move on past that. But other than that, bro, I mean, and the other thing is the Democrats hate God, because remember they took God out of their platform. So again, this guy was heavy on God, and he punched him in the mouth by saying, "Oh, you claim the people who support me are anti-American," and he brought in the salt of the earth. And how could you even disparage the people who he had in his box. He brought in people who were victors and not victims, and the Democrats need a victim. Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. And he's exactly right about that. If we're not the victim, they don't have anything to sell. They don't have anything to sell. Oh, man, this has been a good, powerful show tonight. Let's bring Erica on the line. Erica, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's Alabama Wayne Bradley. I'm enjoying you as usual. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you
as
so
usual. I was just calling to say I'm so proud of you for standing up, and you have all of the answers. And I was really, I agree with the young man who said that it was embarrassing for all those black people to be just sitting down. When I saw them,
with their kente cloth on.
Stupid.
With the kente cloth on, but won't even clap for black unemployment.
Low
black unemployment.
Yeah, it makes sense. So they look like a bunch of black Sambos, and I just want to call and tell you I'm glad that you're back on the air. I missed you,
Thank you.
I'm just so proud of you.
Well, thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate that. Hearing that gives me the encouragement to keep pushing on and delivering this material to you every evening. I appreciate that.
And one thing I forgot. I was so surprised, pleasantly surprised to see Debbie Stabenow stand up.
Well, she knows she's got a race on her hands in 2018. She's got more sense than a lot of those the Black Congressional Caucus guys know they don't have any competition in their primaries, unfortunately. So they don't.
I see.
They don't have any competition the way that Debbie Stabenow, who's gonna have a very tough fight on her hands in this election coming up. So she knew she had to at least stand up and at least act like she had a little bit of sense there.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that. And I also saw Bernie Sanders when he was clapping.
And he clapped as well. So
yes, I saw him.
It's hard to deny the facts. The economy is getting better, and more jobs is good for everybody. So, Erica, thank you so much for calling in this evening, and thank you for those encouraging words.
And thank you for being you.
Oh, God bless you.
Okay, love you.
Love you. Thanks so much. All right, let's go to, those are the kind of calls that makes me keep wanting to do this show and keep me going. I mean, we've had a ton of calls tonight. It's been off the hook tonight. Let's go to Andrew.
Hello?
Andrew, thanks for calling in.
Good, how you doing?
All right.
Question for you. Well, question statement. I'm not sure how I stand about the not applauding because, who determines when you applaud and when you're not. But to me, a bigger question I have was about the unemployment rate, period. Now, if I remember right, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, and I have no problem with being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When President Trump was running for office, the unemployment office numbers were phony. They were no good. They never were right, if I remember right. But they came from the same data. Why are they right now and they were wrong then?
Hey, man, he was on the campaign trail. You know how that goes on the campaign trail, Andrew. The numbers are the numbers. Let's not dispute the fact that the numbers, the lowest black unemployment numbers in history, are now under the President Trump's agenda and his administration. And I think that that's something, of nothing else to clap for, you would think that the Congressional Black Caucus could free themselves for 5 seconds and clap about that. That's all I'm saying.
I agree along with that, but you didn't answer my question. Why are the numbers good now and they weren't good?
I just said it. It was because I just said I acknowledged that he did say that, but he said it during the campaign. And sometimes people say things on the campaign trail that are helpful to getting them elected. And now he's being honest and saying those numbers are the lowest numbers, and he's okay with that. I think that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Are you okay with him lying? Then I guess what I'm asking.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, we acknowledged. Listen. He exaggerated then, and he's telling the truth now. That's how we got to look at it. That's how we got to look at it. Thanks, Andrew.
All right. Bye-bye.
I appreciate it, my brother. Oh man, I love when my guests call in to try to throw me off here. You guys are good, man. You guys have been firing on all 8 to 12 cylinders tonight. Got some more calls here. We're going to go to Curtis. Curtis, thanks for calling in.
Hello?
Curtis, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, what's up, man? Well, this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the State of the Union address.
Mm-hmm.
I think a stronger message would have been for them not to show up.
Okay.
I think that was just a thing, just to show them, like, visually, like, basically we don't we don't agree with you and we don't like you. And really, I believe we would be a lot stronger. Like, I don't believe Kamala Harris was there. You know, a few other people. So,
oh Jesus,
I think,
love me some Kamala.
Yeah,
Harris.
she is fine. And
Don't get me started on Kamala Harris again, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
That's I call it my liberal kryptonite.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think a lot of things is wrong with my party, the Democratic Party, is there's too much sensationalism, man, and warm and fuzzies going on.
What do you think? I got another question for you, Curtis. What do you think of the fact that it seems to me they're going to have 4 different rebuttals to the State of the Union? Does that suggest in itself that they don't have a clear leader of their party right now or someone that's leading them?
Well, this is what I said to that. Election season is coming, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying, but they don't have anyone yet.
No.
Yeah.
But we both know. We know that people like to be razzle-dazzle with speeches.
Okay.
We do, especially Dems and Republicans. I'm not just going to say us because, you know, we both have gullible people in our party. To a certain degree, we do.
Yep.
So by them doing that, it's really a thing to get people to like, oh, he stood up for Trump, I'm going to vote for him. And really standing up to Trump is for them really to come with a solid plan and try to vote against his policies that don't serve democratic purposes. It's not just I don't agree with all. I'm just going to fight the man just because I don't like him. He's in office. He's a reality. We ran somebody we shouldn't have ran. We should all buckle down on Barney if we really wanted Barney, like everybody trying to act like they
like
wanted
Miss Marcia, my favorite socialist. She loves her some Bernie Sanders. Yep, I agree.
Right, but we didn't all vote for Barney. Everybody wanted to try to vote for him.
To be honest, the people voted for, but the DNC elites, the super delegates.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, those guys are the ones that voted for Hillary. Yeah, I agree. The people voted.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? And the funny thing is, Curtis, to be quite honest, we don't have super delegates in the Republican Party. And I can guarantee you, if we had super delegates, Donald Trump probably wouldn't have been elected either. But we actually listen to the will of our people in our party.
That's probably true. But
no, there's no question about it. They wouldn't allow that to happen.
This is the thing with the Democratic Party that needs to change. We like to argue and fuss and be petty too much. We try to make a mountain out of a molehill. We talk about we support the black man and this, and this, but we just take anybody the media tell us to support or whoever. Okay, we're going to support a Muslim. We're going to support a Jewish person. We'll support a black man. They don't have we don't really have no intuition and being able to do stuff ourselves. There's too much incompetence going on. You get what I'm saying? We always want to try to follow and ride a coattail too much. There's too many people that's in the Democratic Party that don't know nothing about leadership.
I agree, Curtis. They're in a real vacuum for leadership right now, and they're grasping at straws. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You electing all these people that's cowards into political position that don't have no stance on that. We need people who have balls.
And that's the one thing we know President Trump has is cojones. No question about it.
That's what makes a great politician. It's not necessarily the experience.
What did you think about that Kennedy guy last night with the lip gloss on, looking like he was about to cry a couple times in the rebuttal?
I didn't even acknowledge that.
That's just ridiculous.
I didn't acknowledge none of the other states because it was something like it was just a fiasco, man. It was a satire, all of it. I wasn't even paying attention to that. I paid attention to what Kamala Harris said, of course.
Lord, I know I did too, man. I had to cut that on. I had to watch a little MSNBC last night to catch that. She is
right. So I wasn't interested in what nobody else really had to say because I know it was all for brownie points. But that's just the thing, man. Until we able really to get behind people who are really tough and stop getting so much weak followers and liberals stop being so sensitive and crying about everything,
snowflakes,
we can't get nothing done.
Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate that hearing that from my brothers. See, I think that's what it is, too. I'll be quite honest, Curtis. Progressive liberals, in particular the white females, they don't want to hear that from black men. And that's, again, another reason that John Kynes was kicked out.
It ain't come from privilege. They just rebelling against their mama and daddy. You know, they probably was raised Republican 9 times out of 10, and now they want to try to do something for the people just to rebel so they can say they had a struggle in life, for the most part.
Oh, man, thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you waiting and calling in today, my brother. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Peace. All right, let's go to Miss Dietta
Wilcoxon.
Dietta Wilcoxon. I apologize.
It's okay, Wayne. You and I are still friends. How are you?
I'm doing good tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I called in part to agree with you. I do believe that the Democrats dropped the ball on coming to the aid of the Dean of the Congress. Congressman Conyers deserved more support from the Democrats. You and I do not differ on that.
Mm-hmm.
However, we do differ in that there is no justification for the treatment of our president as it relates to the African American community any more than there is justification on the part of the Republicans or the Democrats, rather, for not standing up for the congressman. A few cases in point. The president has said that it's okay for law enforcement to use excessive force and abuse criminals by not protecting their heads when they put them in police cars. That will disproportionately affect minority communities. The president referred to his specific African American when he was on the campaign trail. The president has referred to countries that have large contingents of people of color as S-hole countries.
Mm-hmm.
So the president, in my estimation, is the provocateur in chief as it relates to a lot of the venom that is being spewed across the country. And I think the president and the Republican Party ought to stop it. Just as you think we ought to be very upset and concerned about the manner in which the Democrats have treated us, I think we should be equally concerned, if not more so, about the venom that's being spewed by the president. It is not presidential. It is not in the interest of the unity of our country that is necessary for the cohesiveness that we need to survive as a country. So I would just offer that the Republicans ought to be just as hard, if not harder, on the president and the Republican Party. What I will say in essence, though, Wayne, is that I predicted after the 2016 election that the Democrat Party would not be the same party after the election, and the GOP would not be the same party either. I think you and I will agree that the Republicans were not hell-bent, the establishment, that is, was not hell-bent on having Donald Trump as our president either.
No question.
I believe that Donald Trump orchestrated an effective hostile takeover of the Republican Party. And as a result of that, I don't think he deserves any more cover under your tent than any other out-of-control Republican. And he is out of control. The president is totally out of control.
He's a stable genius. He's a stable genius.
Well, you and I certainly disagree on his stability and his geniusness. I don't see either of them playing themselves out on the national or international stage. If that were the case, our closest allies in the European Union would not be talking.
Do you know why they resent Trump so much though in those European unions? It's because he's not willing to keep business.
Why?
He's not willing to keep doing business the same way, where it's bad for America and good for everybody else. He wasn't willing to, especially shoulder the financial responsibilities of all these different things that the international community wants us to be a part of, and then they turn around and disrespect us. I mean, you can't have it both ways. See, unfortunately, we call it classy and being presidential here in America, but I think we've gotten soft. And that's not just with President Obama. So I don't want people like, oh, we're just talking about President Obama. I think over time, between President Obama, President Bush, at least those two in the last 16 years, there was a certain docileness that they've gotten used to dealing with our presidents and doing bad deals for the country because we just wanted to go along and get along. And Donald Trump is just not going to do that. He is putting America first, in essence, on everything he said. He's doing that. And I just don't have a problem with that. Why do we have to go into these environmental agreements if they're bad for us and China's not participating in it? If they're the worst polluters ever, why are we being held to something? And again, that gives them a competitive advantage from businesses and things that are going on over there It has to be fair, and it has not been fair for America. Our trade deals have been bad, and he's a businessman. He understood all that from the jump, and I think that he's called it right on that, and it's going to take more work to change the norm of what's been going on. But I think that a lot of countries have gotten spoiled and used to America being the sugar daddy of the international community. And that's just changed with Donald Trump.
Wayne, I'm not so elementary in my thinking that I am a hardliner and I disagree with everything that the president says or does simply because the president said it or did it, or because he's a member of the Republican Party.
I appreciate that.
I disagree with the president. And I certainly would expect you to, one professional to another. But when it comes to looking at the president, I think we have to look at the policy decisions that he's making, and we have to look at those on a case-by-case basis. And when we look at what you perceive as soft, I perceive that as looking at what we need to do as a country from a diplomatic standpoint. We are not an island. We live with the rest of the world, and as a result of that, we must get along with them because we need our borders to be safe. When we look at the fact that Kim Jong-un now has a missile that can land in Hawaii,
and whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Who we put the blame on that for?
I'm not arguing blame, Wayne. I'm not arguing blame. What I am saying is that it doesn't matter who you blame. If Hawaii is annihilated and they were so afraid that they really thought that they were being attacked just a couple of weeks ago, anytime you have that kind of fear that is percolating in the country, I think you need to tread very carefully diplomatically, because policy decisions are being made that affect the lives and the stability of our country as a whole. I think you will agree with that. Yeah. Now, again, the president and his predecessors who have dealt with Kim Jong-un and other North Korean regimes, as well as South Korea. I mean, this dates back to the Vietnam War, when Korea was just Korea, and before, when we were dealing with forces that were not bothering us, and we went over to Vietnam as if we were the big dog, and we decided to try and fight them on their territory. It's very difficult to fight somebody on their territory. So we in my humble estimation, we lost Vietnam, and in the process, we lost about 500,000 African-American young men who should be in this country, life that we provide for our citizens. They should be alive. Their families should not be grieving their loss. So the point I'm making is that diplomacy says that we shouldn't have gone into Vietnam. Diplomacy also says that we should not be calling Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man. We shouldn't be doing that.
So should little Kim be threatening America, though? Should he be threatening America? Is that?
Wayne, stay with me just for a moment. I just want to try.
I got to get this. All right, I'm gonna be quiet here so you can make the last point, because I got to get to these last couple calls.
Okay, you asked me to deviate from the point I was making. The point I was making is that the president, whether he's a Republican or a Democrat, cannot afford, nor can we as a country, afford the kind of shoot-from-the-hip approaches that President Trump has been making. He is in your party, Wayne, and if you all can help him to become more presidential, it's in the interest of the entire country, not merely the Republican Party. And that's what I wanted to chime in on.
Fair enough, Ms. Wilcox. Thank you so much for calling in this evening. All right, let's go to Bayree. Bayree, you're on the line.
Wayne. First of all, let me give my high power all the thought over me and then them know to have the faith to trust in him and know that he have control to do anything he wants at any time and to whoever he wants to. As long as you know who he is. This world belongs to him. Wayne, this world is of sin, isn't it?
You said the world is in sin?
No. The word of the Bible says this world is of sin.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying that for us to get a dialogue, for us to come together, and for the listeners to understand where they at and what their mindset shall be. Do you believe in a higher power?
Yes, I do.
I'm asking this, Wayne, because I heard a caller call a few minutes ago speaking of things of putting out in the universe. You know, when you put something out in the universe, and if you know there's a higher power, and you know right overrules wrong, negative and positive had to come together to be fire to start something. And for me to do this, because this is the way of the world, and I commend you, Wayne. I got to give, I have to give you a highly accolade of 10. Reason why I'm saying that, you are a very astute person. I listen to you, and I don't call in sometime. And I'm saying this to say, may God bless you, and you keep doing what you're doing, because you know what's what. And I commend you for that. But when we go back to our president, we know that now, you know, back in the day, politics and religious wasn't supposed to be mixing together, right?
I mean, actually, there's a long history. There's a long history of politics and church. I mean, for black folks, that's how we figured out who to vote for a very long time. Politics and church go together. Now, legally, I know what you're saying, IRS and all that, but realistically, in particular in the black community, that was the movement to get folks to go out and vote. So, I mean, I don't know. There is a connection.
Now, listen, Wayne. Listen what you just said. Listen, I love it. And I want the people to understand that. See, that right there alone should put their mindset at ease. And if they divide you, they can conquer you. And if you come together with that, what you just said, I don't want to put too much out there, because casting your pearls to swine, it can harm you more than help you. But they don't even know what they're doing, because they putting it out in the universe. We are the first. We are the last. We all over the world. And when we're speaking about Kim Jong-un, now, Mr. Prue, he supplied him with some of that stuff for the weapon. China supplied it with some of that stuff of that weapon. And the United States had a reason to say what they was doing. But for them not to know what's going on, see, they always say the United States is supposed to be the powerful nation. But they don't understand. You're not powerful unless you have knowledge. When you don't have no knowledge, you're not powerful, because whatever you got in weapons there, it don't mean it's going to come back to haunt you. And if you don't know what your high power really means, you'll never go. Your power is working for you, Wayne, and you keep doing what you're doing, because God has moved you in a way where people don't even understand you. And my Sister Wilcox, she's a very astute person. She bring it to the table, but a lot of people don't understand where she's coming from. But you understand her well, because you do not dispute the conversation, because you leave it out there for the atmosphere for it to wave.
That's how we're supposed to do it, Bay Reed. And I appreciate you keeping that out, man. I don't try to stifle people's conversations. My board operator just cut you off there because we got to get to the other calls. But thank you, Bay Reed.
It's the lightning round. We got to get to all these calls. I want to make sure all the calls,
we don't
all the
miss
people
anybody.
get their calls.
Yep. Let's go to Bob real quick. Bob, thank you for calling in.
Bob, man, this is great, Wayne. I've been listening to the show, but I have to take umbrage with one caller. The president was absolutely presidential last night. Offered a deal on immigration, offered a plan on what we need to do for infrastructure in this country. He's actually very presidential, and 75% of the people thought so. I don't know where she was coming from, but that's my take on it.
Well, Bob, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you calling in and listening today and holding on for me there. So thanks for calling in. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony, you're on the line. My brother, my Spartan dog, what's happening?
Go green, brother. Wait a minute. So it's presidential to read off a teleprompter and not go off script of Donald Trump. That's how low the bar is, right?
He delivered last night, brother. I don't know what else you're talking about. He delivered. That was powerful.
But black unemployment, right?
Lowest it's ever been.
Okay. How did it start going down?
It started with President Obama, and President Trump is taking it to the next level.
What did Trump say about the employment rate at that time?
I already had one caller say that he said it was fake. And
hey, man, I'm busy. I'm in Atlanta, so I just assumed in. Come on.
Listen, when you're on the campaign trail, sometimes you say some wild things. I don't know. I'm just saying that his numbers.
So you could say
the numbers now are the lowest ever.
As long as you're a white Republican, you can say anything.
No,
right?
you can be a black Democrat and say that your doctor's going to stay the same and your premiums are going to go down when I give you this Obamacare, and you're going to love it.
And Mexico is going to pay for the wall, correct?
Hey, Mexico will pay for that wall, buddy.
Are you still on that?
They're going to pay for that wall. Come hell or high water, Mexico's going to pay for that.
I'm trying to tell you, if you keep this up, you're going to be barred from the Black Panther premiere, man. You not come see the movie.
I have a special premiere. I'll let you know that I'm actually going to be speaking at the Black Panther premiere.
Wear a Donald Trump T-shirt to the Black Panther movie premiere. Like you would do that.
You think I would do that? Do you think I would troll that hard? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I love your trolling only when you troll Michigan fans. But
see, I know. You know what? I've noticed that. I think a lot of my Spartan my family feels me when I'm trolling Michigan. But when it's this Democrat stuff, it's something totally different. I can use my skills in multiple areas to troll, man. So I'm just doing what I can do, Anthony. I got 21,000 hot laughs on Facebook. Is that crazy? So I'm glad people don't get so bent out of shape, man. I'm glad people can laugh and enjoy themselves on my page and on my show. Thanks for calling in, brother.
I'll call in earlier next show, man. My bad.
No doubt. You got to call in again. Thank you, man. And we're going to finish out. I got one last minute here with my man Walter. It figures that we ride out together, my friend. Figures that we finish strong here in the last minute of the show. Thank you, Walter.
The best is reserved for last.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for bringing me back in. I forgot to bring in something, man.
Go ahead. Finish it up. We only got a minute left here.
Obama gets no credit for nothing. Those unemployment rates under Osama, Barack, insane Obama were inflated. They were made up. The unemployment did not go down on Obama. And by the way, these clowns that called here giving Osama Obama the credit. That's right, I said it, Osama Obama. That clown. I'm going to tell you something, man. There was no pay raises, no bonuses. You notice? So how can he give him the credit?
None of that.
No jobs coming back to the country.
None of that.
And he's just like Jennifer Granholm. Give me 4 more years, I will blow every job out of the country. I'm out of here, man.
Thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Oh man, this was the craziest show I've ever had. I think. Tell you, I go on a little rant and folks go crazy. I want to thank everyone that called in today to the Wayne Bradley Show. Been one of the best shows I had. Callers from start to finish. Great show tonight. Thank you for calling in. You guys truly make this show. So I appreciate every one of my callers. You listen to the Wayne Bradley Show on 9:10 a.m. Superstation. We'll be back tomorrow night. You listen to the Wayne Bradley Show. Have a good evening. Oh, don't forget, you're listening to 9:10 a.m. your Superstation, the future of radio. Wayne Bradley signing out.
Whatever you need, it's right here on 910 AM Superstation.
Good morning! Hey, this is Greg Davis, and I'm coming back to 910 AM, the Superstation. That's right, my old time, 5 a.m. Information, motivation, and yes, you know I'm going to be talking about relationship. Join me every morning, 5 a.m. I'm getting you up, getting you going, getting you started. Greg Davis Show.
It's the Greg Davis Show.
WADL Detroit is the premier place for laughs, drama, excitement, and everything in between. You know the slogan, WADL Detroit, entertainment for everyone. So if you want suspense, we've got you covered. Looking for laughs? Look no further. And now, you'll get it all, plus more, with the addition of My Network. That's right, WADL and My Network are joining forces to bring you the best in entertainment and excitement. Nobody does it better than the new My WADL Detroit TV. 910 AM Superstation is the voice of the people. Don't believe me? Just listen.
910 AM is constantly hot, from intense debate to the funniest commentary. 910 has it all.
We appreciate the love, and we can feel the support of the city. Keep it coming.
I love catching 910 AM news on social media. It's the way I love my news. Short, simple, and straight to the point.
So when you think of 910 AM Superstation, we want you to tune in, call in, and don't forget to find us on social media. 910 AM Superstation is the voice of the people. Don't believe me? Just listen.
I absolutely love this radio station. This station gets me through the work week.
And we don't just show love to the callers. We see the comments and the posts, too.
I'm always on the go, so being able to watch all my favorite hosts on 910 AM mobile app is amazing.
So when you think of 910 AM Superstation, we want you to tune in, call in, and don't forget to find us on social media. 910 AM Superstation is in a league of its own. We are the only talk radio station in the Metro Detroit area sensitive to the African American community.
Make sure you join us on what station?
910 AM the Superstation.
910 AM.
910 AM. On 910 AM Superstation.
910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only African American based talk radio station. 910 AM Superstation has arrived, and we're here to stay. We got the topics, the guests, the opinions, and the facts.